Luqas, Luke chapter 6. And it came to be on a Sabbath that he went through grain fields, and his taught ones were plucking the heads of grain, and were eating, rubbing them with the hands. And some of the Pharisees said to them, Why are you doing what is not right to do on the Sabbath? And Yeshua answering them said, Have you not read what David did when he was hungry, he and those who were with him? How he went into the house of Elohim, took and ate the showbread, and also gave some to those with him, which is not right for any but the priests to eat? And he said to them, The Son of Adam is master of the Sabbath. And it also came to be on another Sabbath that he entered into the congregation and taught. And there was a man whose right hand was withered. And the scribes and Pharisees were watching him closely, whether he would heal on the Sabbath, for them to find an accusation against him. And he knew their thoughts, and said to the man who had the withered hand, Rise and stand in the midst. And he rose up and stood. Then Yeshua said to him, I ask you, is it right to do good on the Sabbath, or to do evil, to save life, or to destroy it? And looking around at them all, he said to the man, Stretch out your hand. And he did so, and his hand was restored, sound as the other. But they were filled with folly, and were speaking with one another what they should do to Yeshua. And in those days it came to be that he went out to the mountain to pray, and was spending the night in prayer to Elohim. And when it became day, he called near his taught ones, and chose from them 12, whom he also named emissaries. Shimon, whom he also called Kepha, and his brother Andri, Yaakov, and Yochanan, Philip, and Bartholomew, Mattityahu, and Toma, Yaakov, the son of Alphi, and Shimon, the one called the Ardent One, Yehuda, the son of Yaakov, and Yehuda from Kerioth, who also became the betrayer. And coming down with them, he stood on a level place with a crowd of his taught ones, and a great number of people from all Yehuda and Jerusalem, and from the coast country of Sor and Sidon, who came to hear him, and to be healed of their diseases, and those who were troubled with unclean spirits, and they were healed. And all the crowd were seeking to touch him, for power went out from him, and healing them all. And he, lifting up his eyes toward his taught one, said, Blessed are the poor, because yours is the reign of Elohim. Blessed are you who hunger now, because you shall be satisfied. Blessed are you who weep now, because you shall laugh. Blessed are you when men shall hate you, and when they shall cut you off, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as wicked for the sake of the Son of Adam. Rejoice in that day, and leap for joy, for look, your reward is great in the heaven, and that is how their fathers treated the prophets. But woe to you who are rich, because you are receiving your comfort. Woe to you who have been filled, because you shall hunger. Woe to you who are laughing now, because you shall mourn and weep. Woe to you when all men speak well of you, for thus their fathers did to the false prophets. But I say to you who are hearing, love your enemies, do good to those hating you, bless those cursing you, and pray for those insulting you. And to him who hits you on the one cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your outer garment, do not withhold the inner garment either. And give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away what is yours, do not ask it back. And as you wish men should do to you, you also do to them in the same way. And if you love those loving you, what favor have you? For sinners too love those loving them. And if you do good to those doing good to you, what favor have you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you expect to receive back, what favor have you? For even sinners lend to sinners and receive as much back. Rather, love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting none in return, and your reward shall be great, and you shall be sons of the Most High, because he is kind to the thankless and wicked ones. Therefore, be compassionate, as your Father also is compassionate. And do not judge, and you shall not be judged at all. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned at all. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given to you. A good measure pressed down and shaken together and running over shall be put into your lap. For with the same measure with which you measure, it shall be measured back to you. And he spoke a parable to them. Is a blind able to lead a blind? Shall they not both fall into a pit? A taught one is not above his teacher, but everyone perfected shall be like his teacher. And why do you see the splinter in your brother's eye, but are not aware of the plank in your own eye? Or how are you able to say to your brother, Brother, let me take out the splinter that is in your eye, not seeing the plank in your own eye? Hypocrite! First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you shall see clearly to take the splinter that is in your brother's eye. For a good tree does not yield rotten fruit, nor does a rotten tree yield good fruit. For each tree is known by its own fruit. For they do not gather figs from thorns, nor do they gather grapes from a bramble bush. The good man brings forth what is good out of the good treasure of his heart, and the wicked man brings forth what is wicked out of the wicked treasure of his heart. For out of the overflow of the heart his mouth speaks. But why do you call me, Master, Master, and do not do what I say? Everyone who is coming to me and is hearing my words and is doing them, I shall show you whom he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid a foundation on the rock. And when a flood came, the stream burst against that house, but was unable to shake it, for it was founded on the rock. But the one hearing and not doing is like a man who built a house on the earth without a foundation, against which the stream burst, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great.